Welcome to the Amman Innovation in Politics Forum 2020. The moment is finally here. This is the place where we discuss, debate, and decipher the groundbreaking political work being done in the Middle East and North Africa region, brought to you by the Friedrich Naumann Foundation. I'm Clinton du Preez, and I will be your host for these 2 days. When I think of innovation, the words of Bob Iger come to mind, who said, "The riskiest thing we can do is to simply maintain the status quo." And let's be honest, if 2020 has taught us anything, it's that it's innovation, and more importantly, a culture of innovation that helped businesses survive and even thrive in this pandemic. And the same has to apply to the political world. If we don't innovate, we become spectators to those who are. Innovation is the thing that helps us shape our own future. And so, following the success of the first Innovation in Politics forum that took place in Beirut, Lebanon last year, here we are again, continuing this vital conversation on innovation in politics in 2020. From the power of networks to policymaking, from artificial intelligence to geopolitics to gender politics, it's all happening here, and it's happening in a new way. We've completely embraced the opportunities that COVID-19 has presented to us. And so we'll be connecting virtually with experts from all across the world for thought-provoking discussions led by our team of excellent moderators. But that's only half the conversation. The other half comes from you. Join us on all social media platforms by using the hashtag #InnovatingPolitics. Share your questions, your comments, your thoughts, your insights, your ideas, and take part in this global conversation across the world. So, let's kick things off by hearing from the Regional Director of the Friedrich Naumann Foundation in the Middle East and North Africa, Dirk Kunze.
Yeah, let me state the obvious in this very moment. After the experience we all went through in 2020, we all know one thing for sure, and that is that nothing is and will be as it was before. While this year came with some serious hardship, however, we experienced the many opportunities that came with it. I mean, come on, look at this stage. Look at what we are planning for the next 2 days. It's incredible what we are capable to pull off in this short amount of time and in a digital world. We're connecting participants, or we're trying to at least, from the MENA region with speakers from Africa, Europe, Asia, and the US. And for you and everyone out there, it will come together seamlessly in front of your eyes. And innovation can appear in various forms. Many people still associate innovation with new technological inventions, but this is far from the truth. We can innovate customer experiences, services, business models, market processes, and ways of improving our approach to daily challenges. Basically everything. And if you engage with the topic of innovation, you will quickly come across endless examples of how innovation shapes the business models of many companies. There's no need to list them here, but there's one example I'm sure almost everyone can relate to. Think about this. I'm sure somewhere in your home you have a box or a bag of Lego blocks. And most likely, this will be the bag or box that will move with you until you can pass it on to your offspring. And likewise, there's a very high chance that they will keep taking it with them, and so on and so on. Well, the idea of Lego was born over 80 years ago. And while the simplicity of the idea of Lego was always popular, the company itself, by the end of the 90s, was not profitable. In order to change that, they came up with new ideas for the product itself, like they were spreading out into the clothing industry and many other sectors. But essentially, They only increased the risk by 2003, Lego was virtually out of cash. It was only after Lego embraced the principle of open innovation that turned around the situation completely. Innovation purposely was not concentrated anymore in one department or the management. It was an open approach so that everyone could contribute to the company's core. Now, Lego has, had, and still has the same product. But the spirit, well, and the marketing as well, the spirit changed. Here, in the MENA office of the Friedrich Naumann Foundation, we, for example, use the Lego series play technique in our workshops. Not only because it's a great way to spark the right conversations, no. Essentially, the concept and idea of Lego is just like the Friedrich Naumann Foundation. With over 60 years, we are only a bit younger, but our values over that period have not changed. We still believe that an inclusive and open society demands the engaged and informed individual everywhere in the world. And just like Lego, we have the same product. Our product is ideas. We are in the business of ideas. We don't have solutions, but we have the building blocks to spark the creativity to shape them. We provide this big square-shaped base plate of Lego on which you can build and construct your models, your thoughts, your approaches for a society that you want to live in. The Friedrich Naumann Foundation is the creative platform for innovation. We are the creative think tank of liberal politics here in Jordan and the whole MENA region. And we also constantly need to find ways that our product reaches the right people. Societies are changing. People are changing. The way we communicate made huge leap in the last months. So also we need to innovate the way we work in order to stimulate the right and engaged minds. Once again, the Amman Innovation and Politics Forum is the place for that. And we have a great lineup, and Yara will get into the details in a bit, so we don't miss out on anything. But today and tomorrow, we will speak, for example, about the future of policymaking with Steve Clements from The Hill. We look at how artificial intelligence influences geopolitical integrity in the MENA region, and we will launch and we will also talk about I-Values, a fantastic initiative to rethink politics in the MENA region. And those are just some highlights, and I'm super excited to see those topics unfolding in front of your eyes. One other thing you quickly come across when you engage with the topic of innovation are wisdoms. One of them is you can invent alone, but you cannot innovate alone. This experience here, the journey we are embarking into today, is a perfect example for this. We at FNF MENA held on to the desire to finally meet in person with like-minded people. We actually found ways to, and also places where we can interact physically. We tried for as long as possible to make it happen. And only last week, we made the call to abort that idea for good reasons, of course. And I seriously applaud the flexibility of our speakers and organizers to adapt. But instantly, and yet again, we had to reinvent ourselves and find innovative ways to interact digitally in a way that engages in the discussions we want to see emerging. Again, you can invent alone, but you cannot innovate alone. I wholeheartedly thank my colleagues and friends who believed in the message of open innovation and made this event happen. Yara Asmar, our regional strategy manager, Christine, Khilwa, Perla, Antoinette and Burju with the awesome team in Istanbul. My colleagues in the Amman office who within no time organized a fabulous watch party, and they're probably right now sitting and watching this all together now, just like my colleagues in Rabat who are doing the same. A big shout out to you and kudos to all of you. Let us not surrender to the current conditions. Let us once again turn a crisis into a change and move on with this. There's a wonderful quote from George Bernard Shaw. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. So let's think and be unreasonable. With this and an open mind, I'm super excited to follow the coming attractions of the Amman Innovation Politics Forum. Join us and be part of Innovate Politics. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dirk. And I suppose thank you for sharing a little bit about your thinking behind this project and for having the courage to show up and to try something new for the first time. So I want to say thank you for that, and thank you also for bringing that into the region, for you and your team.
Thanks, Clinton.
So speaking of the FNF team, we are now joined by Yara Azma, the Regional Strategy Manager of FNF MENA. And she's also the key driving force behind this very AIP 2020. And so we want to invite Yara to speak a little bit about unpacking this topic of innovation a little bit more. Yara will be sharing some thoughts on what it takes to become the innovation nation that FNF MENA is trying to create. Hello from Amman, Yara.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks. And you, Yara?
Alhamdulillah.
Ah, here we go. Oh, you gave me a fright there. Yara, we are excited to hear a little bit your thinking behind this project and what's coming up over the next 2 days. So I'm going to hand over to you.
Thank you, Clinton. Welcome again, dear friends, to the second version of Innovation in Politics Forum, the Amman Innovation in Politics Forum. We are working in a world where circumstances are changing and becoming more challenging. And as our regional director, Mr. Dirk Kunze, portrayed it, nothing is as it was. The new generations in the MENA region, who has woken up on the fact that the status quo needs fixing and that the old ways of doing things do not work anymore, are exposed now to a lifetime opportunity that yes, we can change, we can shape the future, we can challenge the existing structures, we can go beyond space, but how? With one click. It's just like the remote control that the actor Adam Sandler got it in 2006 film comedy, Click. This remote that allowed him to pause reality in order to fix it. Despite the historical challenges that face our region, the misappropriation of cultural differences by the majority of political elites in the region, the economic challenges facing different countries, a disease like this just provides the opportunity to go beyond what we know and what we can do. And this is a click that can change the world. Dear friends, you are one click away from the Amman Innovation in Politics Forum immersive experience. We all had Zoom fatigue, I know. That's why, through a high-end technology, we were able to bring to you high-caliber speakers on one stage. From Jordan, Germany, South Africa, Lebanon, Romania, Taiwan, Morocco, Turkey, Egypt, the Netherlands, the UK, the US, Switzerland, Belgium, Spain, and Austria. From their comfortable home, our dear speakers are teleported to the virtual stage of AIP 2020 to discuss some exciting topics. For instance, innovation and the power of network. Let's discover how networks can challenge existing political structures. How to rethink politics in MENA, and how to do that with FNF MENA. A new opportunity will be presented by Joseph Lynch, our partner and our friend. Innovation and partnership in the Mediterranean region. It is the 25th anniversary of the Barcelona process. Let us discuss together where are we from that and what kind of exchange is required to foster innovative cooperation in the region. The future of policy making with the editor-in-large of The Hill, Steve Clemens. Let's dive into his career path and lifetime experience. We also move to Sunday to discuss AI, geopolitics and information integrity in MENA. Let us dig deeper into the pros and cons of AI in our super complex region. And finally, innovation and the gender gap. Let's fly to Taiwan with Audrey Tang, the digital minister, to learn more about the relationship between innovation, policy development, and gender equality. Join us for the weekend. Let's think innovation. Let's restore our political imagination. Let's talk. Let's debate. All for the sake of reconstructing our broken democracy in the MENA region.
Well, thank you so much, Yara, for sharing a little bit about the thinking going into the topics that we've got coming up this weekend.